finally, reporter Trenae Nuri sits down in studio with Uniquely You owner and founder Shalia Sutton to discuss the organization's mission to address the complexities of being Black and female in America. Trenae?
Tonight we're going to talk about a unique organization in Philadelphia called Uniquely You, whose mission is to empower young Black females through mentoring and focus groups where teenage girls can talk about what it means to be a teenager in today's society. Here with me tonight is Shalia Sutton, founder and president of Uniquely You, and Jamie Williams and Noor Bowman, who are Uniquely You cover girls, which will explain what that means later in the discussion. Thank you all so much for being here on Philly Cam Voices.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Shalia, in 2009, you decided to create this organization for teenage Black girls and expose them to positive programming that empowers them. On the website, it says that the organization, quote, serves as a catalyst to evoke gripping discussion and a much needed conversation, end quote. Why is it important for you to reach young Black girls?
It's important because we're not given a platform, we're not given a voice, and oftentimes when we do speak up, we're shut down. And oftentimes when we do speak up, young women or Black women are considered angry, are considered loud, or considered boisterous or unintelligent. And so it was important for us to really create this space, a comfortable one, so they could come and speak articulately about the concerns that they may have as young Black women or in their neighborhoods, or things in the news that were bothering them, or things in reality television that were bothering them that they might not have had a platform elsewhere to speak loudly about, to be boisterous about in a strong and empowering way. So it was important to create this space so that they had somewhere to go. Somewhere where they could be heard, somewhere where they could reach their peers. So it was important in that respect that they had a safe space to come and speak up, on behalf of themselves and then also on behalf of girls like them.
Awesome. So mentoring is also a big part of the organization, and you selected 12 teenage girls from the Delaware Valley to be the Uniquely You cover girls. Can you explain to us what a cover girl is and how these 12 girls were chosen?
Absolutely. So when you think traditionally, when you hear the word cover girl, you think just of a beautiful face. You think someone gracing the cover of a magazine, but these young ladies are so much more than that. They use their voices, they use their spirits, they lead, and at the same time use their faces to represent the work that we're doing. Sometimes you see a lot of organizations where they step up and, you see these founders and adult leaders, and they're talking about the work they're doing for young women. And sometimes you might hear the young women say, this organization shaped me in this way, but you don't really get to see that leading in action. So the cover girls really do, they lead in action, and they do an awesome job representing the work and reaching their peers, their peer mentors as well.
And in that same respect, Jamie and Noor, what attracted you to Uniquely You?
Well, what attracted me is it was a place for Black girls to share their voices and to be inspired and encouraged to be their best selves. And the summits are a place where there's so many phenomenal Black women, and I never been in a setting where there were so many women who were doing great things at one place and of one race. So it was very inspiring.
What attracted me was that it was a place for me to share my thoughts and interpretations and how we were represented in the media or stereotypes that applied to us. And I never really had a space like that, so I think Uniquely You really attracted me in that aspect.
Great. So can you tell me about the bond between the Cover Girl ambassadors? Is it like a sisterhood?
I think it is. We text every day, we send good morning and send inspiring quotes, and I think we're really getting to a sisterhood.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I think that we are going to get to know each other more throughout the process, and I'm really excited. So.
Awesome. What I found really interesting about Uniquely You is the structure of the mentoring program. So in May, the Cover Girls themselves decided to host a teen-only event where the focus was around the glorification of violence on social media. So Noor and Jamie, why was an important issue for you all to cover?
I think it was important to me because sometimes, depending on where you're coming from, it's not talked about. I know for me, it's not talked about in school or at home. And I think us coming together as only teens, as only Black girls, it was a safe place, and we felt like we could share our opinions and thoughts on it.
I think it was important because it's something that happens too often, and there's no place to talk about it. We never talk about it, and it's such a norm. So I think that it was very good for us to take a moment and realize that it's not okay.
So what did you learn from that conversation about your peers?
I think I learned that we need more, organizations, and we need more outlets like this, because the girls were really able to share their experiences, and everything that people said you might not agree with, but it was meant to be said and it was meant to be heard, because people are hurting and people have opinions, and I think that we need more chances to do that.
I agree with Nora. We need more platforms like this to share our opinions, and I think the only way we can grow and heal from this is if we do express our thoughts and have these places where we can talk.
Now, you guys also have a platform, a blog that's curated by the teens. Can you tell me a little bit more about that particular platform that you have?
Sure. So when I created it in 2012, and it was supposed to be produced for them, by them. And initially, I was really doing all of the writing and the content, but making sure it was somewhere that they could come and read. And what was missing was the by them. So just about 2 years ago, we created an all-teen editorial board. So that we've got an editor-in-chief and contributors, and they really are a team that works together to put out content that is important from their point of view. So it's important to hear what they think about the election. It very well may differ from what you or I think about it. And they don't have the right now they're not of age to vote, but they still have very strong opinions about what's happening in the world and what's happening which shaping community and with shaping culture. So we love to hear, their point of view, and I think sometimes we often look for adults for answers, but a lot of what we're looking for really resides within them.
In case anybody missed any of the program that you all had so far, there's still a chance for them to attend the 2-day summit in September. Can you tell us what we can expect in that summit?
Sure. So the theme this year, it's going to be in September, and the theme is For the Love of Black Girls, and it's a healing, restoration, celebration, and sisterhood. And so we're going to be focused on lots of things. Healing is a really big one. The organization is really shifting towards self-care and the importance of that. I know you can relate to this as a Black woman. Sometimes everybody comes before us and we put ourselves last, and we want them at this age to understand the importance of caring for self, the importance of taking time to, as you're leading, because it can become overwhelming and people are pulling at you and want you to do all of these incredible things, but you've got to really take some time to get quiet. So we're going to teach them about meditation and journaling and yoga and those important things so that you can continue to lead, but learning how to take care of yourself. And then traditionally, like we always do, we have a ton of incredible speakers that are going to come and speak to them, adult women. But what's different this time, and very similar to the event that you were just talking about that we just held, a lot of the summit is going to be led by them. Because what we're realizing is their peers want to hear from one another, just like you and I are maybe inspired by Serena because she's our age and it makes our goals, more tangible and more reachable. It's the same thing with their peers. Their peers then say, wow, I'm able to reach and touch this person. It's not the Zendaya, that I'm looking at. These are real role models that I can, touch and, glean from. So we're excited about that. We're excited to have them lead the summit this year.
What are you all looking forward to from the summit?
I'm looking forward to just being surrounded by girls my age who we can share aspirations with and we can relate to.
I'm interested for a good conversation. Every summit there's a new conversation, great panels, and I'm really excited to get involved.
Well, thank you all so much for coming to Philly Cam Voices tonight. This was a very powerful information. Thank you to Shalia Sutton, founder and president of Uniquely You, and to Jamie Williams and Nora Bowman. If you'd like to get more information about the organization, please go to uniquelyousummit.org. There you can find links to programming information and for the September summit. Thank you.